Hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today. I'm here to bring you some commentary from the Lunar Lounge. Pay most particular attention. We are preparing for a shift after the equinox. Things are going to be a little bit different. So that's March 22nd. Actually, right around that week. Okay, so I'm here. So we're going to cover the full moon in Virgo. It's going to be the earlier degrees, probably 0, 1, 2 degrees of Virgo. And where we're at right now for me is I don't want to perpetuate any horse pucky from the matrix, especially when we're dealing with the moon. I would rather go according to ancient technologies. So I don't want to do a switcheroony on you right away. It was funny because as I was getting in here, I was really deeply feeling Leo energy. And you know, the portal or the gateway or the exchange, I call it the rainbow bridge between Virgo or Leo and Virgo is the Sphinx. The Sphinx is Sekhmet. And y'all know I'm very familiar with that energy. I love that energy. And it's funny because Virgo, when you know the, if you really truly genuinely knew the mythology of the Hermit card and the mysteries behind the Hermit card, the Hermit is the gatekeeper. He's called, it's literally Saturn at the gate. So typically, Saturn, the card, is the archetype of Virgo, yes, but the concept and ideas, the mysteries behind it would be would be Saturn at the gate. So that's the first, fourth, 10th, or 7th house, or Saturn in Aquarius. Okay. Now, the mythology behind the Strength card, which is Leo, would be Sekhmet, and the mythology behind the Hermit card would be Anpu or Anubis or Fotala. Okay, so I'm just going to put that out there. And then also, you bring in the energy of Arcturus whenever you have Virgo. Our universe is kind of based off of Arcturian technology, and that kind of is the intelligence pool that we anchor into the physical when we're stepping into the density. So before we step into our fifth dimensional body, we come out of our sixth and seventh dimensional body. The sixth dimensional body would be Sirius. And yes, it is kind of somewhere located in Cancer, but that's its proximate location. It doesn't necessarily take that energy out of there because the star card represents Sirius. This card here represents Arcturus, which is seventh dimensional, Sirius being sixth dimensional. And for some reason, this is relevant. I'm hoping I'm not confusing a lot of you. To those who can't place what I'm saying, it's irrelevant at this point in time. There's several messages from cards that I get, and not all of it is going to make sense to what you've been taught, what you've been told. If you're not able to keep an open mind and your brain is trying to label things and understand things immediately instead of just soak up the concept and idea before you get into the specifics, I'm going to drive you crazy, girl, because it's all over the place right now, these messages, okay? So the moon is going to be full in Virgo, and it's the earlier degrees, and that's in the tropical chart. It still would be in Leo in the Vedic charts, the sidereal charts, the ancient charts, and I'm just going to put that out there for you. Okie doke. So let's see what we got here. And this is a version of the High Priestess spread. It's not quite that. But we are indeed ascending the throne here, and this is High Council. Okay, so knocking on the door, This cycle could be about a number of things. Let me pause and grab my wand. Okay. I say because I'm getting to so much. I'm taking a little break here. So when the cards don't come out the way that I like them to, that's a message. The first thing that happened here was actually an assessment. And it seems like we are assessing the collective. Not just the collective, but this collective perspective, collective paradigm is the word I'm getting. And it's more so talking about the house of Virgo than it is talking about Virgo energy itself. Because knocking on the door, the call to action is to withdraw energies, to be aware of our drives, desires, passions, what we want to go on the journey to manifest in this world. But it seems like there's something that we've already manifested or a way that we came into being here in the physical dimension that we're unaligning with. So on a more subtle mystery standpoint here, I am noticing that we're unaligning with the conditioning and the programming of the consciousness reality. We're unaligning with the conditioning and the programming of the collective. Go to school, get a job, get a fancy degree, all of that. We're going to be more independent. We're going to be more selfish. We're going to be more passionate in our endeavors. And if our passions include that piece of paper, also known as a degree, great. You go into school because you want to, not because you're conditioned and programmed to do it, and it's the logical thing to do. Unfortunately, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the left brain. It very much is about how things are done or what everybody else is doing, procedure, protocol. There's not a lot of liberties with Mercury unless it's to solve a problem that it has been up until now unsolvable. Okay, so the liberties is the thinking out of the box. And the only time that one wants to step out of the box when they're left-brained, actual, factual, practical, all that kind of conditioning and programming, that's the left brain, dogma. The taming of one's creativity, the taming of one's spirit, the taming of one's eternal nature. This assessment here there's some aspect of ourselves we've been trying to connect with that we're not yet connecting with. And the full moon is when you purge and expel energy. It's something comes to its culmination point. Could we start out here? We're no longer working towards something, collaborating. And if we are working towards something, it's going to be solitary. We're not going to do it in collective. We're not going to do it in group. We're not going to do it in community. We're not going to collaborate on it with other people, places, or things. Now, we may collaborate still, but it'll be with energies. It'll be with divinities. It'll be with spirituality. It'll be with our spirits, whether they're our ancestors, our guides. What I'm understanding thus far, we're going to be taking a cold, hard look at how we've been conditioned and programmed to become what we are today and how we want to change that and what is alive in us that has up until recently been unheard, unfelt. We haven't been navigating, negotiating with it. It's almost like we need to stunt ourselves or revert aspects of ourselves to return to our childlike nature. And it's really our inner ambitions. So we're reaching the point where we've been conditioned and programmed. That's what this full moon is going to be. And we're no longer going to be of service to things that bind our effervescence, that bind our eternal nature, that bind our ambitions. If it doesn't make our hearts jump up and down, if it doesn't make our spirits dance alive in our body, we might need to unalign with these things. Okay, great. So it might be a withdrawal because definitely currently we're at an impasse. The knowledge that I have would say we're going to have to renew some type of vow, maybe redefine a pledge and oath that we took. We definitely build our foundation on something maybe it was sturdy at a different time. Now it feels like quicksand. Now it feels very unstable. And even if it is stable, we don't feel stable in that place. It no longer provides security. It no longer provides a surety. Some things are very stable and, you know, you're just really not into it. It's like, you know, you might have a 10-year-long marriage living in a mansion on some estate somewhere. You know, one day you might look at your house key and be like, that feels like the most unsafe place in the world to me. Why? Because that's where you lost yourself. And sometimes something alive in you, even if you don't mentally know, something alive in you is telling you, well, I can't go to where I got broken to get fixed. That place is where I lost my dreams. That's where I lost myself. You know, my inner child's hiding in a closet in there somewhere, and, you know, it's a prison. You know, I might be a well-manicured robot in this conditioning and programming. My dad had told me I should get married to a rich man. Look at me, I got 3.5 kids and a mansion and some husband with $1 million a year income, 7-figure salary, and I hate my life. Now that's first world problems, I understand. But it could be something like, you know, yeah, I might have that job, but I hate it. Yes, it pays the bills. I'm able to send my kids to school. I'm able to keep a roof over our head, even if it's humble income. I might have been there 10 years, but I hate my life. So that's also another thing. We've been of service to something. We've had duties and obligations, responsibilities, especially financial, especially work-wise. So our happiness is going to be our own divinity. Something's going to come alive in us. What's knocking at the door now is for us to build the foundation of our spiritual life here in the physical. We clearly know what that is. The healing for us is going to be going and embarking on this journey. We might no longer be able to provide the love that we were providing before, or we're not going to manifest things. We're going to try to manifest things from our heart. Now, for some of us, especially those who are living with air rising signs, I'm getting Aquarius risings, but to a lesser degree, it might be Libra, it might be Gemini. Especially those who might be dealing with Cancer. Men, they might have their sun in the 4th house. They might have their sun in Cancer. To a very much smaller degree, it might be in Pisces as well. I am not talking about Scorpio. If anything, I'm talking about Cancer, to a lesser degree, Pisces, much lesser degree. These might be men that are going to be, you're probably coupled up with them, or you might be this person. Doesn't have to necessarily be a man, but their sun would be in Cancer. They would also be an air rising sign, most likely Aquarius rising sign, or Libra rising sign. These are people that are going to be leaving their jobs. They may also want to leave their marriage. Now, I don't necessarily feel like they're wanting to not be in love. They're not probably leaving their marriage, they're leaving their business. They may be starting businesses of their own, and they may be opening up with a heart's desire that you haven't been able to sense before. They've been thinking about this for a long time. They may have isolated themselves. They may have gone on sabbatical, especially professional sabbatical. Okay. Now, ultimately, what this is looking at, needing to renew your vows, renew your oath, renew your pledge. You're renewing the pledge to yourself. They are renewing the pledge to themselves. They're finally embarking on a journey of happiness. They want to be around people that make their souls and their spirits thrive in their body. They want to be celebrated, not just tolerated. Something's wrong. They're feeling like they need help, and it might be help they need to give themselves, but they're feeling like it's not going to work the way it is, and there needs to be a change. And it's not about money, it's about fulfillment, satisfaction, feeling of purpose. You know, Virgos are the kind of folk who they don't like it when they try to help and you don't want their help. And I don't like people giving me unsolicited advice or unsolicited help. Acts of service is not my love language. And I piss Virgos off that way. Because oftentimes they'll come in thinking that they can help you, or they'll come in thinking that they know what'll make what you're doing better. But it's kind of like, I might like stumbling to success here. You need to know what my intention is before you come in offering any type of feedback, adjusting, affirming, or otherwise. You may see very clearly what the best solution may be, but I might actually enjoy the struggle. As long as I'm not suffering, struggling is fine. As long as I'm not in an incredible amount of emotional pain or physical pain, struggling is fine. Virgos don't understand that, or Virgos don't always want to accept that. And the thing that makes Virgos feel the most unloved is when they're unable to be of service. They don't need to fix something. They need to be of service. And oftentimes, service for them is white-collar work, strategizing, being tactical through technologies, well-proven, well-documented technologies. Okay? So yeah, it may manifest as needing to go around labeling things. It may seem to a person who's unenlightened like they're judging you, or they're nitpicking on you, or they're micromanaging you. Truly, generally, what a Virgo wants to be is system dependent, not people dependent. It's not about you. It's about the outcome that you are going to produce. And they may be talking directly to you, but they're talking about your work product. They're talking about what it is that your actions are going to affect. And a Virgo is energy in general, whether it's a Virgo person or not. A Virgo is going to be cause effect. They're going to see the effects of your causal reality even when you do not. And, you know, Virgo is a vessel. It is a priestess sign. Now, oftentimes it would be the attending priestess, not the working priestess. It would be a priestess of the marketplace, not a priestess of the temple. What does that mean? It's a priestess who goes and walks the world, not one that stays behind closed doors and communes with spirit. Oftentimes, like I said, 6th house is that of being of service. It's debts and obligations. And it represents the service you give to yourself and others, burdens even sometimes. This is a person who doesn't want to take on the burdens that they've had before. And it can very well be a marriage. I'm not seeing that. I know the Lovers card is out. It's talking about the soul group. Now, some of you may be looking at marriages if you've recently been single and said, well, I don't want to be alone. Cultivate a bigger, brighter, better life. Get something going on for yourself. I tell you, start a business before you get married, or start a business as you're getting married. Because I don't think coupling up with a person is going to make you feel better. I think having your own thing where you feel of service, like you have a purpose in this world, that's what's going to be better for you. And on the other scope here, those of you who are part of an organization, who are part of a group, social group or otherwise, who are not feeling seen, where you're feeling tolerated and not celebrated, you're also going to be making a migration. You're going to be leaving some type of institutionalized connection, probably a long-term social group. You may leave your bowling league. You may leave your department at work. You may leave the tech department and go to the human resources department or the marketing department. You have to be happy. We have a 10 of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles, a 10 of Cups and 9 of Cups. You have to be happy. We have a King of Pentacles, a King of Cups. You have to be happy. 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 One more time for good measure. You have to be happy. And happiness is something you give yourself. It's not something that you wait for. And oftentimes for a passive person, I don't mean a passive person, I mean a passive person, the vehicle for the spiritual consciousness, the sun. When you have a sun sign, a moon sign that is Virgo, or an earth sign or a water sign, your happiness doesn't come by going after something. It comes by aligning with the energy that's already there. And if you don't like the energy that you're receiving, you unalign with it and you go somewhere else to receive energy that you can align with. Unlike an active sign, a fire sign, a air sign, you go after the energy. So again, knocking on the door. Well, the call to action here would be letting go of something, transmuting, detoxing of something. The work group, you're not able to collaborate. What you need to do is go on the journey of your drives, desires, passions, ambitions. You have a vision, a dream, a vision in your mind that you want to manifest. You want to help bring into the physical. And the way you're going to do that is by facing this perspective that you now have. You have a vision, a dream, an awareness, a spiritual consciousness, a spiritual perspective that up until recently you didn't have. And now you'll understand the sacrifice that's needed because of a previous surrender that took place. Something might have even been out of your hands. You might have needed to take that job to pay off your student debt, to pay off your mortgage, to pay off. I'm hearing somebody had some medical debt that they needed to pay off. So they took a job for 5 years, 7 years, 9 years, 10 years. And now the children are out of the house, tuition's paid for, debt's paid down. It's time to start a business. I'm hearing somebody's going on to their third act. You might have also recently retired. And now what you're going to do is, well, starting a business. It's starting a business. It's starting a business. It's starting a business. I'm repeating it because I'm hearing a crescendo echo in my head. Like my head started, when I said starting a business, my head started shaking up and down, like nodding yes. And they're laughing at me, the spirits, because they're like, we told you from the jump, your intuition was spot on. I'm going to give you a little bit of guidance. The number is 7. Again, it seems like 7 is the number. 7 or 10. I'll pull one for 7. I'll pull one for 10. Others love your dramatic side. Number 7. Go for it. I mean, and then number 10, which could also be a 1 to a lesser degree. Your natural charm will attract someone or something special. Because you might also be looking for a business partner, and both of these things are not quite clear yet. They're not going to manifest yet as we see it. Because what you're going to do on this journey is you're going to open up. You might let something go, probably your job. You really love your coworkers, and you've loved having this job. It's been a foundation for you for at least more than 5 years. I'm seeing 7, I'm hearing 10, I'm hearing 9. You may be leaving to go be a contractor. You may be a contractor, or you may have been an employee and now you're becoming a contractor. For instance, you may have been an employee, a W-2 salaried employee, and now you're going to become 1099. Or you may have been 1099 and now you're going to become self-employed, meaning you own your own business. I'm hearing that you might have been an agent in a real estate firm and now you're leaving that real estate firm and becoming a broker. You might have worked under some type of boss and you were the star employee and now you're becoming the boss in another business, which is your own. Some of you would have had a business partner and you're both wanting to dissolve. Maybe one person's retiring, the other person wants to go out on their own. I'm that way. I find business partners very easy, and I'm working with them for a couple of years, and then I'm like, I don't want to sell this product. I want my own brand. I don't want to sell somebody else's name. I want to sell my name. So something along those lines. I would pull clarity, but I'm just going to fast forward. Just take a peek at the, I'm lighting some incense here. Just want to take a peek at I'm going to just fast forward a little bit until the new moon, because what we're doing is we're dispelling energy. Something has reached its full culmination. And what it is letting something go, detoxing, moving on from something that you're not going to reconcile without facing something dark, which can be fear. To retire is fearful. To submit your resignation is fearful. Now, nobody's getting fired here. And I'm not seeing this pleasure. I'm seeing the choice to no longer collaborate as being happy. And this happiness is coming from a different perspective, because before you were stuck, and it wasn't a bad stuck. It wasn't like, oh, I'm unhappy that I'm stuck here. It was kind of like you thought you were going to be somewhere temporarily and you were enjoying yourself. And now you're getting to migrate on. Now, for some of you, you're finding your spirituality, you accepted a new, bigger, brighter, better truth, and you need to anchor this spiritual awareness into the physical. It will be your Brahmanhood. You might have found your gift. You might have found your divinity. You might have found your path in this world. And so you're going to go about it. But it will be pulling away from, it will be leaving one type of oath to a new type of oath. Okay. All right, so let's just fast forward, see what this next 2 weeks are going to bring us. Okay, so decisive action. Now we have 3 kings. So that's an alliance. Oftentimes that you could talk about some type of new venture starting, oftentimes a new business partnership. And I have my deck split between the passive suits, which is the cups and the Pentacles and the active suit, which is the swords and I don't know why it had me do that, which is the swords and the wands. So this is a revelation here. And I don't know why. I feel like I spoke too soon with this revelation. Okay, I'm saying a revelation because I see a secret and I'm not seeing the secret be revealed, but the secret's out in plain sight. It's just not easily discernible. But there is judgment here. There was an effective executive decision that is being enforced. And the emperor is hidden, but he's here because the lovers always talks about counterparts. And then this over here is how you're seen in your close relationships, and this up here is how you're seen out in public. So let's talk about this for a minute. Because if I have the Empress plus the lovers, that means the Emperor is somewhere hiding. If I have the Sun plus the lovers, it means the Moon is somewhere hiding. The lovers card means sacred union of divine opposites or divine counterparts. So if you have a lot of Venus energy, the lovers card will represent Mars. If you have a lot of Moon energy, the lovers card will represent the Sun. So the Sun is out in reverse. It means kind of like exhaustion or having to be the source of energy. You are the source. Oftentimes it could talk about an eclipse, Sun in reverse. The lovers in reverse would talk about needing the right match, trying to attract, especially with this Venus, trying to attract in that divine counterpart, looking for the perfect business partner, looking for the perfect lease for a new office space, looking for the perfect lease for a storefront, looking for the perfect business opportunity if you're going to invest in a business. Two nines would talk about the reconciliation of debt, the reconciliation of financial challenges, especially when there's two tens, as there was before. That's an easy, like paying back money is two tens. Three tens would mean like, oh, okay, all of the different fronts you have are being solved, being fixed. Why am I saying three tens? Well, we have a third 10 out here. The Sun, 1 plus 9 equals 10. Okay, so I'm getting quite a number of things. Up here, we have a consecutive. So we have 3, 4. So that's 7 pentacles. So the groundwork has been laid. You would have been laying the groundwork before. You're easily navigating within the realm of, and then we have 19 cups here. And that's for this gate right here with this King of Swords. So 19 minus 13 equals 6. So that's reconciliation, harmony, healing, getting to where your soul can fully experience and express itself. That's harmony of the spirit incarnated into the physical through the soul group. Well, that was a mouthful, but that's literally what that means. And then we have an indication of that being confirmed. This is the actual soul group itself. So knocking at the door here, it's saying, okay, well, you're nurturing something into the physical, and it's going to come in the future. And what you're doing here is integrating this into the physical. It's going to happen where you have to let go of certain things. You have to unalign with whatever office you had before. It wasn't the home, it was an office. So it would have been work. There's some things that are going to come out. Probably you are revealing something. And you're going to hurt some feelings. People are not going to want to see you go. They're not going to want to unalign with you. You would have been hiding this for some time, and now it's going to come out to the open. It will seem to some people like this is happening suddenly. It's not. It's been a long time in coming. You're doing this for your healing, not for other people's. You are aware of some type of cycle and it's long term. This is your cycle. You're only partially revealing certain things. It would have to deal with the job. Sun in reverse oftentimes talks about the workplace, especially with all these pentacles, and you have 2 of the pentacles representing the sun as well. The King of Pentacles means the sun in any pentacle sign. We also have the sun here in Capricorn. So my findings is that you're now going on a journey to collaborate with whatever hopes, wishes, and dreams you have. But the hopes, wishes, and dreams here come from your self-worth and value. You probably are trying to nurture something into the physical through your creativity. It would seem like this was going to show up and manifest about 3 months from now. So this is what this full moon is going to kick off. It's going to kick off 2 weeks of healing and illuminating and elucidating your future plans to go on the journey towards anchoring your divinity into the physical. You want to feel completely fulfilled. And it will involve you disintegrating, unaligning, withdrawing from previous long-standing institutions, groups, probably marriages to a lesser degree, much lesser degree marriages, but mostly work. You're going to be leaving social groups. You're going to be leaving coworker groups. You're going to be leaving departments at work, either migrating to different departments or migrating to different institutions all the same. For some of you, will be creating institutions of your own. Now, if you don't have anything tying you to work, it will be that your spirituality is coming out of the ethers into the physical. People are going to see that you have a spiritual gift. People are going to see that you have spiritual abilities. People are going to see you embarking on your light worker career, your light worker path. And it will be healing and soul retrieving for the most of you. It will be no, I'm not seeing Reiki here. And some of you will be speaking words of wisdom here. Because the way you go about this journey is, it's not going to seem fair to some people. And the people that you leave, you're going to have to unburden yourself. And you're going to have to be serious and strict about it. And you will need to be a little bit harsh. Some people are going to try to convince you to stay. Your boss may offer you more money. The social group that you're in may offer you a new position. Maybe they'll finally let you be president of the bowling league. And you're like, well, I'm going to bounce. I'm going to go join, a vegan league or a badminton league now. Screw your bowling. I just went through this. I left a queer spirituality group and I went to a hiking group, and it has nothing to do with queers. Now I'm in a African American, I say Black. People that say African American don't know what country in Africa they're from because they're descendants of slaves. People from Africa say, I'm Kenyan American, I'm Nairobian American. They don't say I'm African American. That's the silliest, stupidest thing I've ever heard. African American is bullshit. Just in case you didn't know, don't say that. Anyways, long story short, I left the queer spirituality group and I went to a Black person's hiking group, and I hurt some feelings. I also ran into a lady that I used to have lunch with on a regular basis, and she's like, well, why don't I see you anymore? And I said, y'all don't feed my soul. I go there and waste a couple hours and I leave hungrier than when I showed up, even though we're all sharing a meal. You don't have sustenance. Of course I hurt her feelings, but I had to tell her the truth, Be kind when you cannot be nice. Hear what I'm saying? So I've experienced some of this, and I am a Cancer. I tend to go through the lunar cycles a little bit earlier than the other folks. My moon is in Aquarius. Okay, so just again, my findings. My findings are that we're going to be materializing a long-term goal growth that we've had, and it's going to seem very sudden to some folks. It will be a rude awakening for the people that we're in close partnership with, whether it's a business partner, a coworker, a best friend, a lover, a marriage partner, an employer. If they rely on us, it's going to seem like some type of betrayal. It's going to seem sudden. It's going to seem unfair, but it's been a long time in coming. And the recommendation here is to just stay on the journey towards your sovereignty. Be secure in yourself. You are going to need to release. That is the sacrifice. It's going to seem unfair, and you're going to need to release these people from your life. They're going to want to stay connected to you. You're not going to want to. And for some of us, it's going to be we finally have the impetus to leave social groups that are no longer feeding us. We may be outgrowing people, places, and things. And it's fine. It's okay. Ain't got to worry about it. Hear what I'm saying? So, there we go. I'm pulling from the Cosmic Activation Cards by Nadi Anastasia. I don't know about the glare. Give me just a second. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, let me just stop worrying about everybody's opinion and do my deal. Celebrazione. Celebration. Okay, number 6. So we'll be reading from the Cosmic Reading Cards or Cosmic Activation Cards by Nadia Anastasia, Activation Cards for the Soul. Sermon will be from page 33. Y'all know I love that number. Okay, your light is radiant. Be open to spiritual and material blessings coming your way. Celebrate your achievements, dear one. You deserve it. You are being honored for all that you have already achieved on your journey. So celebrate your life, accomplishments, and your amazing growth. You have already assisted so many souls to express their own unique life. Spirit has seen you tirelessly work at all hours on projects to assist humanity. The time, energy, and love you have dedicated to many hungry souls has not been easy. There were times it left you tired and drained, but still you soldiered on and persisted with love. There is much more to be celebrated here. You are an amazing, radiant soul, and we are so very honored to have you work in bringing humanity back into alignment and balance. Take this time to reflect on your achievements, for you truly are a gift to the universe. The light you emanate reaches corners of the universe even you cannot fathom. Do not be so hard on yourself. Do not ever feel that the work you do is not enough. Each time you help another to see their inner light, the world gets a little bit brighter. You are never alone. You are always guided and supported by teachers and masters of the highest realms. All of your earthly needs and requirements are and will always be taken care of. You are loved and appreciated for the beautiful soul that you are. Celebrate life. Celebrate you. Affirmation is I celebrate the light and love that is me and have gratitude for this opportunity to shine. Associated chakras are the heart, throat, third eye, and crown. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, so grant me just a moment. Again, this was Celebration, card number 6 from Cosmic Activation Cards for the Soul by Nadi Anastasia, page 33. Okay, just making sure you got a good little peek here. Okie doke. So, it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege and the pleasure to do so. If you'd like a reading, consultation, or an assessment, the prices are in the show notes, and you could just click that link, make a donation. You can't use the booking website right now. I'll take it out of the notes for a little while. Just send an email to oracle@priestessgorgeous.org on PayPal, and when I receive your email, I'll email you back with a couple times. If you're not available for any of those times, choose one anyways, and you'll receive a recorded copy of your reading 24 hours afterwards, okay? Take good care of yourself. Love, light, unity, harmony, and resplendent grace. Until we meet again, until we read again, namaste, dandava, and ashe. Thank you for all your continued support and donations. I still need those. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.